Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy.
And I'm Lucas.
And welcome back to the Past channel where we review all types of tech. And we're going to be reviewing the Razer Viper Ultimate. No, we're just kidding. We're going to be reviewing the Mountain MAKALU or MAKALU 67. I call it MAKALU, he calls it MAKALU. Tomato, it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
This mouse is going for 60 bucks. So kind of pricey a little bit, like a little bit, right?
And it's a brand that we hadn't really heard of before you guys started recommending this one to us.
Exactly.
A little hesitant to buy, but then yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and it comes with two colors. We got the white one. There also is a black version. One thing that I don't like is that the cable is black. I wish they would have given you a white cable, but you know, whatever. So anyways, if you guys do want to get it, we'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the shape as always, and it is huge. This is one of the biggest mice that I've ever freaking played with as far as the arch goes. Look at it, look at how big that arch is, dude.
You're tripping. That's like,
nah, dude. It's
like
this arch is like twice the size of the Viper. You guys see that? This is the Viper Ultimate. I know this is a low profile mouse, but like, look at that. That is just beefy. It's like around the same length as the Viper Ultimate, so it's like just like a regular size mouse. It's not a mini or anything or a large size mouse. I mainly fingertip grip, right? And I just don't like it. I don't like fingertip gripping this mouse, so I didn't like playing anything really with this mouse at all, which is a bummer, but palm gripping is so comfortable. It just like hugs my hand just perfectly. And of course, this is an ergonomic shape. It kind of doesn't look like an ergonomic shape if you kind of like glance at it. It reminds you of the Zygen MP1, but it's not as subtle as that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it feels awesome, like to palm grip.
Yeah, I mean, the palm grip is really good on this. And one thing I noticed is the form factor seemed very similar to a G Pro Wireless. Obviously the G Pro Wireless is ambidextrous, but in a weird, more ergonomic way.
Exactly.
It's like a G Pro Wireless, which is why I feel like I really liked it. And my hands are large enough to where I can fingertip and claw grip this without any issues. But I used to be mainly a palm grip user. And I actually went back to it with this mouse. Like as soon as I put my hand on it, I just found myself palm gripping it naturally. I went straight into Call of Duty with this mouse and had no issues whatsoever. And I usually hate using ergonomic mice. But I had no issue with this one. It really performed well, and it took no getting used to for me because I was using the G Pro Wireless beforehand anyways, so it sort of just felt like a natural switch. Yeah,
and also another thing is I do like this groove right here. You know, if you look at the left side of the mouse, this kind of hugs your thumb very well. It feels great, you know, lets your thumb rest very comfortably. Of course, there's really none of that on the right side because it is an ergonomic shape. Also, another interesting thing is that if you look from this angle, there's no slant. If you look at the G-Will's skull, for example, in a lot of ergonomic shapes, they have a very, very slanted shape. But this, the Zygen MP1, as well as the Xtrfy M4, they all have like a pretty level base here on top where the arch is. So that feels pretty nice. It all depends on what you like. But yeah, for me, the shape was just, it was a little too robust, right? So if you palm grip, a medium size to a large size hand should be good. Small size hand, you should probably stay away from it because it is fairly large. Fingertip grip, small size hand, medium size hand, you should probably stay away from it. Of course, like Lucas said, large size hand, you should be okay with fingertipping it. But obviously this is an ergonomic shape, so the ergonomic shapes are mostly designed for, I guess, like palm gripping, right? So there's that.
Yeah, so as far as the buttons go, we're using Omron 50 million switches on there, and they feel, I mean, they kind of just feel mushy. They feel like Omrons. Like, if you ever felt an Omron switch, which most mice have, it just feels like kind of your average mouse click. Nothing really special. But nothing really bad about it aside from them just being a bit mushy.
There's a lot of post travel, a whole lot of post travel. So yeah, I didn't really like it all too much, to be honest. And side buttons, the same. It feels like a regular side button. You know, side buttons usually have a lot of pre-travel and a lot of post-travel.
They are some fat side buttons, though.
They're huge. Sheet
massive.
thick. Look at that.
Yeah.
You know, like the sheet thick. That's sexy. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, the scroll wheel. It feels pretty similar to the Model O. Like not very tactile steps, but you know, it's not bad. And then the scroll wheel click is pretty nice. I do like the very large DPI button here on top though.
Yeah, you got a big old DPI button and then the lights. I actually kind of like the 4 lights, especially when they're off, like the DPI indicators on there.
Yeah.
Kind of looks pretty cool.
It's pretty sick. And of course you can bind that to something else, so you kind of have an extra button here.
Yeah, you do have their Basecamp software, which was easy to use. It's not the most refined thing in the world, I wouldn't say. It definitely needs a little bit of work, but finding all the basic functions like rebinding things wasn't an issue on there.
Yes. All right, as far as the cord goes, we have the Lifeline cable. Guys, can you just stop naming your cords?
Oh, it's from a company named Mountain, dude. It's a Lifeline, you know?
We got the Ascended, we got the Holy Trinity mouse cable here that'll save your life. Yeah, it's a braided cable. It feels great. There's not a whole lot of resistance. Not gonna feel a whole lot of like pulling on the cable like a regular rubber cable. So it feels nice. It feels like any other braided cable. So
and where the cable's connected to the base, it's angled upwards, which a couple companies have started to do this now, just to prevent extra drag. Really, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit nicer.
All right, as far as the skates go, we got pure PT FE skates, and we got one large skate on top and one large skate, or I guess like not large because it doesn't fill up like this entire arch. You know, it's like like the FK2. So yeah, they're pure PTFE feet and they feel very smooth, very fast. I wouldn't say it's as fast as others for some reason. It feels smooth though, but not as fast as like the other. For example, I main the Rocat Burst Pro. I really like that mouse, and it has like the tempered PTFE feet or whatever, and that feels very, very smooth. So this doesn't feel as smooth as that, but it's still pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean these feet, I feel like it's just because it's a bulkier mouse.
Yeah.
I don't really mind the feet. They're still smooth. They still get you where you need to go. And it comes with an extra set of feet in the box with it. So props to them for that.
Not bad. Yeah, that's always good. And if you look at the thickness of the mouse feet, I'd say it's around average. So it'll probably last you an average amount of time.
So as far as the sensor goes, we're using a Pixart PAW 3370 in here, and it feels good. Feels very responsive, no complaints as far as the sensor goes.
As far as the actual texture of the mouse goes, it kind of reminds me of the Viper Ultimate. I would say it's like, oh no, yeah, it's around the same type of graininess. I thought it was a little bit more like fine, but it's not. So it has like that very coarse feel. It gives you good grip, and it's this white color, so you don't really notice it as much. It doesn't really pick up any type of fingerprint or oils very easily, so that's good as well. And then here on the back of the mouse and also on the bottom of the mouse, we have holes, and they're just like ovals, you know, like a oval shape, which I've never really seen.
Yeah, it's an interesting design.
Yeah, you can also see their logo here. That's actually pretty clean.
Yeah, their logo is really clean.
Yeah, it's not like obtrusive, like the glorious logo on the side.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't really like this rib cage design here on the sides though. That looks like weird.
Yeah, it's fine, it helps you grip.
Yeah, that is true though. That is true.
One thing that they did that I feel is very special is the RGB on here, which I don't usually give people props on RGB, but this one's really cool. It goes around the scroll wheel there and the DPI button. It's just a perfect circle around there. And their RGB, I don't know how to explain it, but it looks more like pastel, the colors on there. So when you do like the rainbow effect, it's like a sort of lighter.
A little bit
matte. It's super bright too. I had to turn it down to like 50%.
All right, so wrapping things up, yeah, I just couldn't really use this mouse all too well because of how large it is and because of how high this arch is. It's just insanely high. So it just wasn't comfortable, especially for my size hands.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a pleasant surprise getting this guy in. So I thank you guys for the recommendation. It's a good mouse. It's a really good mouse. I like it. It fits my hand very well. It took no getting used to, and it reminds me of my baby, the G Pro Wireless, which, you know, it's good. It's a good reminder to have.
Yeah, so just keep in mind the shape though. We already went over all that, so just keep in mind the shape, and also just keep in mind the size of your hand obviously, and the grip style that you use for this mouse. So anyways, this mouse is available for $60. So if you guys do want to get it, we'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you in the next one.